can I
Thanks,
borrow
Lawrence.
your expertise as a former district attorney yourself to just referee this little distinction here where a district attorney stands up and refers to a witness as being a state's witness, by which I think we know he means he intends to call the witness. And then the police officer's lawyer says, well, he's not going to be a witness for or against anyone, which is true of every witness. That's the textbook description of a witness. And it seems like he's trying to get him out of the image of being basically turning against the other police officer. Is that your sense of what we're watching here?
It appears that that's what happened, but I go back to the district attorney's words, and that is that a witness is a witness. They have to tell the truth. They are under oath. Whatever the testimony is, it is. And clearly, the district attorney believes that this testimony will be helpful and will get at the truth of what we all saw on that video. And I think one of the things I found interesting in listening to that discussion, Lawrence, is that one of the things we want to break down here is this culture. There are a lot of good cops out there, and I think we all know them. And they are brought down by this kind of behavior where you have people like what happened in my state with the murder of George Floyd, when you have police officers that are basically on video committing murder. And that is why we're working so hard right now to get this bill passed that would basically put standards in place that good police officers will meet, to ban chokeholds, to have accountability and transparency so we know what people's records are if there is misconduct, so they can't go from one police department to another. And I think, people are crying out for this change right now, and this is our moment to make that change.
Senator, there's a big gap between the Republican legislation that was introduced in the Senate this week and the legislation that's being moved by the Democrats in the House of Representatives, which would be close to what the Senate Democrats want. Is this one of those instances where you in the end, you vote for the bill on the Senate floor to get into a conference with the House so that you then can try to work out a final bill in compromise with the House of Representatives?
I think it is way too soon to talk about what procedure is being used, but we can't just have a bill that does nothing. I think that has happened too many times where people are just voicing platitudes and saying, oh, we want to make this better, and they never really do. People are not going to tolerate that anymore. Democrats, Republicans, and I just think Donald Trump is so out of touch, as are some of our Republican colleagues on this, if they don't see that this is a moment to save lives, to build trust between the police and the community by making these sensible reforms. And I just don't think that we can sell out for nothing here. We've got to have substantial reform, and it can happen at the local and state level, but it can really happen at the federal level. Anyone that watched that videotape and saw George Floyd's life evaporate before our eyes really understands that if we answer this with silence, we are complicit. If we answer it with what the president's called dominance, as he waved the Bible as for a photo op in front of that church, well, then we're monsters. But if we answer it with action, as I told my colleagues on the floor yesterday, if we answer it with action, then we're lawmakers. And that's what we were sent to Washington to do.